You might be wondering why UPSC asks so many questions on center-state relations when the Constitution clearly says India is a union and not a federation in the classical sense. And you might be confused about where the real tensions come from. By the end of this video, you will be completely clear about the main issues and challenges facing Indian federalism and how to frame crisp answers in your mains and interview. I will keep this beginner-friendly and visual, breaking the topic into small, memorable parts so you can recall examples like Telangana, Teesta, and the Arunachal case under pressure. And towards the end, we will understand a key idea that most UPSC aspirants miss, which can lift your answers from good to exceptional. First, imagine Indian federalism as a balance scale, where national unity sits on one pan and regional aspirations sit on the other. The scale keeps tilting because power and money are unevenly shared. The first big challenge is regionalism. Political movements that prioritize local identity or demands for autonomy, often pushing for new states or special rights. Visualize regionalism as many rivers flowing into a single reservoir, sometimes clashing over water, resources, and identity. Think Telangana, demands for Gorkhaland, Bodoland, and disputes over river waters like Teesta. For UPSC, remember to link regional demands to federal stress. Reorganizing states, linguistic movements, and resource-sharing disputes are frequent themes for both prelims and mains. The second major issue is the absence of full fiscal federalism, which is central to why states feel constrained. The Constitution gives substantial taxation powers to the center, while states depend heavily on transfers, grants, and recommendations of the Finance Commission to meet development needs. Put a number in your answer. Roughly 40% of central revenues are transferred to states, which creates dependence and limits state autonomy in meaningful policy making. A useful analogy is to think of the center as a parent who holds the purse strings, but expects the child state to spend the money on priorities that the parent sets. Next, consider constitutional amendment power, which creates a centralizing tendency in practice. Under Article 368, Parliament can amend the Constitution. And while some federal features need state ratification, many changes affecting center-state balance can be driven by the center alone. This is why aspirants should link amendment powers to federal flexibility and the evolving nature of center-state relations in essays and answers. Another structural challenge is the idea of an indestructible union with destructible units. The union cannot be dissolved and states have no right to secede, which secures national integrity but concentrates power with the center. The office of the governor is a recurring flashpoint in center-state tension. Governors are appointed by the president and have discretionary powers that can influence state politics. And controversies like the Arunachal Pradesh episode in 2016 show how gubernatorial actions can escalate conflicts. For UPSC answers, a short case reference like Arunachal Pradesh 2016 strengthens your point on misuse or contested use of gubernatorial power. Citizenship is another factor. India has single citizenship, which reinforces national unity but reduces legal differentiation between citizens of different states, affecting federal distinctiveness. Then there are integrated services and national institutions that promote uniformity across states. All India services, a common judiciary, and central bodies like the Election Commission and CAG standardize administration, but also increase centers' influence over state administration. Think of this as a single railway track connecting many stations. It keeps the system unified, but limits local control over who drives the train. Centralized planning and policy making, historically led by the Planning Commission and now Niti Aayog, has meant national priorities often dominate state perspectives despite the concurrent list. Language diversity adds another layer of complexity to federal design. Linguistic movements and demands for recognition or reorganization on language lines have shaped state boundaries and federal politics. With the Constitution recognizing 22 official languages in the 8th schedule. In answers, tie language conflicts to stability and administrative challenges, and use examples where relevant to show depth. Now a quick exam insight. This concept is very important for your exams because questions often test your ability to connect constitutional provisions, institutional practice, and landmark cases in a balanced manner. Prelims may ask facts and examples, while mains expect analysis linking causes, implications, and reforms. Mention Finance Commission reports, Article 368, and cases like Arunachal for credibility. Here's a small memory trick. Group the challenges into structural, financial, institutional, and cultural buckets. This helps you write a structured answer under time pressure. Structurally list constitutional features, fiscally quote the 40% transfer, institutionally cite governors and All India services, and culturally mention language and regional identity. Summarizing visually. Regionalism pulls for local autonomy. Fiscal dependence ties states to the center. Amendment and institutional powers tilt the balance towards centralization. And cultural diversity adds friction. Keep 3 to 4 crisp examples ready. Telangana for regionalism, Teesta or river disputes for resource conflict, Arunachal for gubernatorial controversy, and Finance Commission for fiscal balance. These anchor your answers. A strong mains answer should present causes, implications, and reforms. Strengthen state finances, ensure transparent use of gubernatorial powers, encourage cooperative federal institutions, and deepen dialogue over language and resources. You can practice by drafting a 200-word answer now that links one structural and one fiscal challenge with a practical reform suggestion to score high in mains. For interview preparation, be ready to discuss current Finance Commission recommendations, Niti Aayog's role, and recent center-state standoffs with balanced clarity. To deepen your study, consult landmark judgments, Finance Commission reports, and center-state relation analyses that examiners expect you to reference. Remember, clarity and structured thinking beat long paragraphs. Examiners reward concise analysis, facts, and linked examples. You're close to mastering this topic. Revise the 4 buckets and practice one mains answer and one case-based prelims question daily for a week. Thank you for sticking with this overview. Keep the examples and the memory bucket trick handy for quick recall before the exam. If you want guided notes, practice questions, and timed answer templates on this topic, continue learning with EduRev, where curated UPSC resources and tests wait for you.